Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What Is Real Is. Before I begin with today's topic, I want to briefly reflect on yesterday's UK general elections. And particularly, I've been seeing a lot of leftist, liberal Brits on Twitter being very happy, maybe even smug about the results. Now, I am completely willing to acknowledge ignorance in the topic of British politics, but I do believe it works similarly to the way it does in Israel, where you simply vote for a party rather than a leader, and the number of votes correspond to the number of seats the party receives in parliament. I believe this is the case, and there is a minimal amount of seats required in order to create a government. And so what happened essentially is that since the Conservative Party doesn't have a majority in Parliament anymore, they must bargain with other parties in order to create a coalition government. Okay, but essentially, there is no path for the Labour Party to oust the Conservative Party from the reins of government. So, my question, if all of this is correct, and if I didn't mislead you about any of the details, or I don't know, why are you so happy? I mean, yes, the Conservative Party lost some seats, and the Labour Party gained a couple of seats, but you lost. Why are you so happy? Why are you so smug about not being completely humiliated in defeat? Why is that such an achievement? I know, to borrow maybe Charlie Sheen's kind of mindset, you should be maybe less focused on, deriving glee from humiliating your political opponents, and more focused on actually winning. Just a thought. So, and particularly, I am bothered by people who are on the Corbyn train. I find very little to like about this person. I won't say anything about his particular policies. I know people say he is a socialist, whatever. Okay. I'm far more troubled by his eulogy of Fidel Castro, or referring to Hamas and Hezbollah, or rather Hamas and Hezbollah, as friends, and actually pushing for Hamas to be declassified as a terrorist group. And not to mention the actually Jew-hating satellites that surround him in droves. So yeah, I don't see much to like about this person. On a happier tone, today is the day of the Gay Pride March in Israel. There are actually two marches in Israel that are not in the same day. One is more celebratory and it takes place in Tel Aviv. There is another one which is more solemn, more kind of actually a form of protest that takes place in Jerusalem. And the one today is a more of the festival, the festive one in Tel Aviv, with people dressed as Mohicans in thongs, etc. All of that stuff. I have heard a lot from people who accuse Israel of pinkwashing by referencing gay rights in Israel. And my answer to that would be yes, but. And what I mean by that is that it sucks being gay in Israel. For one thing, it sucks being gay in Israel. So, I'll elaborate. I spoke in earlier episodes about the way religion works within Israel. Essentially, there is no civic union, no kind of secular marriage in Israel. Marriage is always done through religious institutions, and so homosexuals cannot marry in Israel. They cannot adopt in Israel, and in that way, it really sucks. Also, in cases where they somehow manage to, either adopt abroad and then bring the child back with them, or go through, a surrogate pregnancy or whatever. They also have issues with registering the child as both the child of both of the couple, and all of that jazz. And yes, there is plenty of homophobia in Israel. At the highest ranks of government, you will find plenty of homophobia, including members of the Knesset saying that Israel is unsuccessful in war because of the gays, and stuff like that. And much more inflammatory kind of remarks even. And a couple of years back, during the second Gay Pride March in Jerusalem, so the one where you don't have extravagant costumes and no floats and nothing of the sort. just a march of solidarity with the cause of gay rights. A Haredi man, an ultra-Orthodox man, actually assaulted the marchers and killed a girl of 16 who was actually straight and was there strictly for solidarity. And that same person actually stabbed another marcher 10 years prior. He was actually arrested and placed in prison for 10 years, or I believe actually 12 years, and then got 2 years off of the sentence. And he actually spoke. He got he was released a couple of, like, maybe a week before the march, and he spoke on a religious radio show about his intentions with regards to the gay pride march, and then he did it. So there was some kind of catastrophic failure there. But that happened, like, that's this one person. Additionally, there was also another instance of a terrorist attack aimed at a gay youth center, and that was, I believe, maybe I think a decade ago, like 10 years ago or so, and the culprit was actually not found. There was one person who claimed responsibility, but authorities decided that his claim was was insufficient, and that they had doubts with regards to that. And then there was another person who was arrested, and because of all sorts of misconduct upon the police's side, the case was dropped, and that was the end of that. And as far as I know, the police has no more leads with regards to that horrible attack. But, and this is where the but comes, as bad as things are for gays in Israel, I think they are probably better than they are in, actually not probably, certainly better than in any of its immediate neighbors. Not just immediate neighbors, also the Gulf countries, all of our Middle Eastern neighbors. I'm sure gays have it better here than there. And another but is that being said, this is no excuse. I think Israel should put its money where its mouth is, and either shut up, essentially, about how wonderful it is for gays in Israel, or create the legal solutions for them to be actual respected and on equal footing with the rest of the Israeli citizenry. Until then, yes, I think you could ostensibly call what Israel under Bibi is doing pinkwashing, and I think it is most egregious in the Likud party, which is the leading party, the party of Netanyahu, where you have a for example, a member of the Knesset, very high ranking, who is actually the minister of. It actually sounds really Orwellian. The minister of culture, and the minister of culture and sports, more precisely. She is showing all kind of love for the gay community, while doing nothing within the Knesset itself to further gay causes. Also, the Likud party has a gay cell, it's called, of activists, and they actually got a representative in the Knesset who is gay, but he's a libertarian kind of gay, so more like I guess Milo-ish. No, he's not anything like Milo, except for one thing, that he has done nothing to further gay rights issues within Parliament. Nothing at all. Except make excuses for why he isn't doing this. So yeah. Either actually do something for gays in Israel, or quit weaponizing them in order to make us look good. Yeah, we are better than our neighbors, but that is not enough. This is it for today, and until next time, have an awesome weekend. See you guys.